Hey guys, welcome back to the Bayside Fabrication YouTube channel. So we've been working on the Z-Cart wiring, cleaning up. I've been doing that at night, kind of in my free time. The car's at my house and we're just picking away at that. But now, if y'all aren't familiar, this is my E30. So I made a video on it. Geez, it's probably one of the first videos I made in this channel. This is a S54 powered E30 with a bunch of custom stuff done to it. So I recently just finished up this front bumper, and today I have to address bumper supports and things like that. There's only like 2 bolts holding it on. So we're gonna have to deal with that today a little bit. As you can see, I made custom fender flares for this. They're all sheet metal. I also have to get my passenger seat mounted. I have to remount my driver's seat. It's mounted a little high, so I'm just gonna lower this seat a little bit more for better positioning. And then we do have to do some wiring on it. We have to go through and get the headlights and tail lights wired up, and we also have to get our poly windows cut. Other than that, the car's pretty much ready for paint. So I just want to get the car tidied up. I'll just show you, we'll go through the car a little bit, we'll get it up on the lift, I'll show you kind of what's going on with it. But this is a fun car. It's 2,400 pounds, dynoed at 329 horsepower to the wheels. So it's a peppy little car. I mean, the S54 is a fantastic motor, and it's just a great overall car. And just so you guys know, I did put Mercedes 190E taillights on this car because I'm a 90s racer at heart. So I get a lot of love and a lot of hate for that, but I don't care. I think they're awesome. So yeah, we just got to button up a few things on this and just kind of give it some love. I mean, this car's been kind of neglected a little bit since the Z-Cart came around. Just while I'm thinking of it too, I do want to do something about this rear bumper. I have a side exit exhaust on it, so I might cut out the middle and do some kind of diffuser thing, but we can kind of figure that out as we go. But let's get this thing pulled in and check it out a little bit. So here's the beauty. Arguably one of the best motors BMW ever made. Certainly, probably the best naturally aspirated motor BMW has ever made. It's just a fantastic motor, revs to the moon, plenty of power, plenty of torque. It's just, it's a very fun motor, especially in this lightweight chassis. I think it really, really complements the car. This one just has basic stuff done to it. I have stock headers, which I removed the cats and did just a side exit exhaust on it. So it's a short 2.5 inch to a 3 inch muffler out the side. And then it just has a cold air intake. Well, not really cold air, it's kind of a hot air intake at this point. That's one of the things I want to do. I want to cut a hole in this area here and weld like another 45 on this 4-inch intake tube and drop the filter right down into this area here. But a lot of little stuff I want to do. We're not going to make a huge project out of this. A lot of it's kind of boring stuff, and you guys probably don't care. Like mounting seats really isn't that great for content, but we'll get this thing ripping. One thing I did want to mention though, I did take it down the street the other day and noticed I pretty much don't have any rear brakes. I think it's just a issue where I bled them by myself at my house, and I don't think it took. So we're gonna re-bleed the rear brakes, and the reason I know we don't have rear brakes is because you can see all the grime and rust still on the brakes. Now these are E46 M3 rear brakes, E46 M3 front brakes. We're also running the MK60 ABS system from the E46. Essentially the way I did this car was I picked up a 2003 E46 M3 convertible that had a real light hit in the rear, and I took everything out of the car, including wiring harness and everything. You know, I cut a patch out of the firewall, so I'm utilizing the E46 M3 brake booster. I have all the dash, I'm running the pedal assembly. I mean, essentially this car, or the wiring, engine, and all that has no idea it's in this chassis. So it's kind of an interesting deal. Not very conventional, as in I don't know anybody who's ever done one like this, but At the time, I thought it was a good idea because I wanted to maintain, you know, things like traction control. I really wanted the ABS system because this was supposed to be a hill climb car. Now, I originally started this car about, geez, 5 years ago now. Like, this cage was one of the first full cages I've ever done to this capacity. And, you know, there's certainly a lot of things I would do differently, mainly because there's no hills around here to run hill climbs in. So I wouldn't have built a hill climb car. And I also would have done things like, you know, push the cage into the door cutouts a little bit more and things like that. But, you know, hindsight's 2020. And at this point, we just need to finish this car up because it's just been sitting and there's no point in it sitting. I mean, it's a great car. It's super fun. And who doesn't love a wide body E30? So we'll pick away at things and I'll show you some progress, but right now I think I'm going to get the rear brakes bled, get the front bumper pulled off, and we'll just kind of start going through it a little bit and just pick away at things here. All right, guys, well, I had an issue with the E30 here, and maybe one of you guys can help me out. So the problem is I just bled the brakes because I took it down the street the other day, and the brakes kind of felt weak. Fronts are fine. The rears are a little better, but they have rust still on them after I drove it down the street, aka the rear brakes really weren't working, and that's both of them. So we just bled them, and when bleeding them, there's very little fluid that came out compared to the front. And I also want to show you what's going on now. So this is all E46 M3. So there's nothing E30 about this car. Let me show you what happens. So what we're gonna do is put it in gear and then try the brakes. Okay, so what's happening is if I depress the brake pedal, my yellow brake light comes on and my traction control light comes on. So now if we put it in second gear, let's say, and depress the brakes, I'm pushing as hard as I can. Not locking up the rear rotor. However, if I jab them, after a couple pumps, I can stall the car. So it's something in the ABS, and I don't know if there's air in the ABS or how to even go about doing that. I'll show you another thing. If I don't depress the brake pedal, my traction control and the yellow brake light don't come on. And I'm in third gear now. The traction control is kicking on. Like right now I'm full throttle. So the traction control is working. So what this tells me is that the car is detecting that the rear wheels are spinning and the front wheels are not spinning, which means the traction control is kicking on, which in turn means the speed sensors in the rear should be good, correct? I'm just trying to talk through it with you guys. So if the speed sensors in the rear are detecting that the rear wheels are moving, the front speed sensors are detecting that it's not moving, it's activating the traction control like it should. However, I just noticed I cannot turn off my traction control right now. And my sport button's not working. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what's going on here. If any of you guys know, let me know. Like I said, so when brakes are jabbed and you hit them hard, very firm pedal response, they work great. But if you just softly, like you're coming to a nice easy stoplight and just slowly depress them, the rear brakes don't work at all. So, not sure what's going on, but if any of you guys have any insight, let me know, because I am a little bit stumped on this one. This is kind of a new one for me. So, I'm gonna stop messing with it for now. So we are going to the Freedom Factory for the soft opening. Now, my car is in my trailer. Why, you ask? Well, it's still running like crap. So I just got back from vacation last night, and Vlad had my new computer reflashed with the tune that we had on the dyno ready for me. I picked it up, and I was hoping to just come and plug it in and the car would be mint. However, the tune is off. It's running super lean, and we're not sure why. What we think happened is when the pins on the computer, which I'll show you a picture of right here. So those pins, one of them forked over and they both went into one pin out in the harness, and we tuned the car. Everything was great. And then, as you saw at the track, the car just died, and it's been wonky ever since. So what we think happened is we probably tuned around an issue that was going on, and the car was running great, and now it's not running great because it wasn't, you know, proper before, if that makes any sense. So I just did a few diagnostic things just to see what the see if I could resolve it. I checked the fuel pressure. Fuel pressure is 62 psi on the rail, so the fuel pressure is good. So we know that's not an issue. I swapped out a narrowband O2 sensor, so I know that's not the issue. So we're kind of at the conclusion where I'm just gonna have to bring it to Vlad, and we're gonna have to figure out how we can get this sorted out. So unfortunately, we have to drive the trailer down with the car in it to the Freedom Factory. It's gonna be kind of lame, but we're just gonna, you know, take it out, show it off, and that's gonna be that. But not ideal, but I don't want to risk anything the way it's running right now. There's no point in risking anything. Plus, it's gonna be really cold on the way home tonight. So, all right, y'all, we've arrived. This is pretty crazy. Big turnout so far. Really happy for my buddy Garrett. This is really fun to be here. I mean, if he does this, even if he just did a car show once a month, that would be a killer event. The mobile dyno, that's rad. So yeah, there's a lot of cool cars here too. So we're just walking around checking stuff out. All right, guys. He's gonna go and talk to him. Dude, this is ridiculous. All right, so this dude brought a truck.
Step right up, step right
$2 a pop. You get to freaking whack it.
5 hits. Only clean bed on the side. Everything but that on my.
It's got dual tanks, so you're good.
What was that?
Yeah, put your back into it. All right, Reed's getting it out of the action. Ooh, tough break.
Keep going.
Hilarious. He's got one more hit.
Should I knock the door off?
Lean into it.
Knock it out, but then you knock it out.
Get it all out.
Ridiculous. So I guess this is a thing. Something you don't see every day. Barra swap. Very cool. Very cool. I'm not even sure what this is, but I think it's a Suzuki. Right-hand drive. Tiniest car on the planet. This is sick, guys. Saab 97 Aero with the LS. Factory deal. I've never seen one in person. This thing's awesome. Into this event, and it's great. It's really good to see Garrett opening this track and doing so well. Great turnout for a Thursday night and announcing it a week ago. I mean, amazing. In the next event, guys, stay tuned for a little of this action here. The old Freedom 500. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I know I haven't posted in a little while here, but you know, we've had a lot going on in my personal life, and man, I'm glad to be back here doing it.